What if no bunker on Earth could hide from American precision? Beneath Yemen's rugged terrain, the United States just unleashed its $2 billion B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, armed with 13.6-ton bunker-busting bombs capable of penetrating over 200 feet of reinforced concrete. This historic strike wasn't just another airstrike. It marked the first combat deployment of the B-2 against Houthi targets. The operation sent a clear and chilling message. Even the deepest, most fortified bunkers are no longer safe. The implications of this unprecedented show of force ripple far beyond Yemen, leaving the world to wonder what comes next. The problem with underground bunkers. Underground bunkers have remained one of the most persistent challenges in modern warfare. These fortified structures, often buried dozens of meters beneath the surface with reinforced concrete and earthworks, defy conventional airstrikes. During Operation Desert Storm, coalition forces struggled to destroy Saddam Hussein's underground command centers with standard 2,000-pound bombs. The bunkers at Taji and Al-Taqadum air bases withstood multiple direct hits due to their multi-layered designs, showcasing the resilience of such fortifications. Since those early Gulf War challenges, adversaries have significantly advanced underground facility construction. Iran's Fordo uranium enrichment facility, for example, lies buried under 80 meters of mountain rock, with reinforced concrete chambers designed to withstand even nuclear strikes. North Korea has built thousands of underground artillery positions along the DMZ, connected by tunnels extending up to 200 feet below ground. Similarly, Syria's Scientific Studies and Research Center and Hezbollah's tunnel networks demonstrate how non-state actors have adopted these strategies, creating fortresses buried beneath nature's armor. Standard Joint Direct Attack munitions, JDAMs, lack the kinetic energy and structural integrity to defeat these hardened targets. The BLU-109 penetrator warhead, a common bunker buster variant of the 2,000-pound JDAM, can only penetrate about 18 feet of reinforced concrete. These weapons often detonate prematurely, failing to reach critical chambers deep inside underground complexes. Even modified penetrators like the GBU-28, used against Iraqi command bunkers in 1991, showed inconsistent performance against multi-level designs with sacrificial blast chambers. The strategic consequences of these limitations became evident during NATO operations in Kosovo, where Serb forces relocated critical air defense systems to underground shelters that survived weeks of coalition bombing. Recent satellite imagery reveals Houthi rebels employing similar tunnel networks to connect underground missile storage sites across Yemen's mountainous terrain. These facilities allow adversaries to safeguard their most dangerous weapon systems through prolonged campaigns, complicating efforts to neutralize them. Iran's transfer of advanced ballistic missiles to Yemen highlights the regional security risks posed by buried storage. Underground depots near Sana'a housed medium-range ballistic missiles capable of striking strategic targets across Arabia. Conventional strikes could crater access tunnels but often left the actual weapons caches intact, requiring follow-up attacks with limited success. This dynamic has encouraged weapons proliferation by creating nearly invulnerable storage solutions. The challenges of targeting underground facilities became particularly apparent during operations against ISIS in Iraq. Tunnel complexes beneath Mosul featured blast doors, false corridors, and decoy chambers. Standard bombs often sealed entrances without destroying the infrastructure. Similar difficulties arose during the 2006 Lebanon War, where Israeli forces encountered Hezbollah bunkers extending 40 meters underground, and in Afghanistan, where al-Qaeda's Tora Bora complex withstood extensive bombing campaigns. These examples underscored the need for a weapon system capable of reaching the deepest bunkers. Traditional solutions like the massive ordnance air blast bomb lacked penetration capability, while nuclear bunker busters carried unacceptable political costs. This gap drove the development of the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, designed specifically for the B-2 Spirit bomber to address this critical operational requirement. Enter the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator. The GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator is the heavyweight champion in the ring of conventional munitions, representing the pinnacle of bunker-busting technology. Weighing 30,000 pounds, it's the heaviest non-nuclear weapon in the U.S. arsenal. Its immense size, 20 feet long with a 31-inch diameter steel casing, requires specialized aircraft for deployment. Delivering such a massive weapon demands precise aerodynamic calculations to ensure stable flight after release, as its weight and dimensions pose significant challenges. Most combat aircraft simply cannot carry the GBU-57 due to structural limitations. Even heavy bombers like the B-52 Stratofortress lack the reinforced hardpoints needed to secure it. Tests with modified B-52s revealed that the bomb's weight severely restricted payload capacity and operational range, making it impractical for use on such platforms. Precision delivery is further complicated by the weapon's ballistic characteristics, which require careful planning to ensure accuracy from high altitudes. The GBU-57's design channels kinetic energy through a hardened steel casing filled with 5,300 pounds of high explosives. Unlike earlier bunker busters that relied on shaped charges, this weapon uses its mass and velocity to penetrate reinforced concrete. Tests at White Sands missile range demonstrated its ability to breach 200 feet of 5,000 psi concrete before detonating its delayed fuse. The bomb's hardened nose cap ensures it remains intact during initial impact, preventing premature detonation. Guided by GPS-aided inertial navigation, the GBU-57 can strike within 3 meters of its target. Its tail kit, equipped with adjustable flight surfaces, corrects its trajectory during descent, maintaining accuracy even when dropped from 50,000 feet. This allows the bomb to reach speeds exceeding Mach 3 before impact. Operators can update target coordinates mid-flight via secure data links, enabling real-time adjustments based on intelligence. Compared to its predecessors, the GBU-57 achieves unparalleled penetration. The BLU-109 warhead, used in 2,000-pound JDAMs, penetrates just 6 feet of reinforced concrete, while the Gulf War-era GBU-28 reaches 20 feet. The GBU-57's kinetic energy surpasses these by an order of magnitude, making it capable of destroying previously impervious targets. Upon impact, the bomb initiates a progressive failure sequence. It fractures concrete structures while maintaining integrity, detonating only after reaching its programmed depth. The resulting overpressure, exceeding 10,000 psi, collapses internal walls and destroys equipment. Secondary explosions often occur as the blast wave ignites ammunition or fuel stores. Testing at the Nevada Test and Training Range confirmed its effectiveness. Strikes on replicas of hardened facilities completely collapsed multi-level underground structures. Only the B2 Spirit, with its unique combination of payload capacity and stealth, can deploy the GBU-57, cementing its role as a game-changer in modern warfare. Why the B2 was the only option? The B2 Spirit stood as the only feasible platform for executing the Yemen bunker strike mission. No other aircraft in the U.S. inventory combines the necessary stealth characteristics with sufficient payload capacity to deliver 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators. This operation required penetrating contested airspace where Houthi forces operate Russian-made air defense systems, including the SA-6 Gainful and SA-8 Gecko. These surface-to-air missile batteries, while not cutting-edge, still pose a significant threat to conventional aircraft. Middle Eastern air defenses have evolved considerably since the 1991 Gulf War exposed the vulnerability of static radar sites. Modern networks now incorporate mobile radars, passive detection systems, and integrated command centers. Yemen's airspace, in particular, has seen extensive electronic warfare activity due to Saudi-led coalition operations. The B-2's stealth characteristics allowed it to navigate this environment undetected, avoiding early warning systems that could have enabled target relocation. The B-2's radar cross-section measures approximately 0.1 square meters, comparable to a large bird. In contrast, the B-52's radar signature exceeds 100 square meters, and even the B-1B Lancer, with some reduced observability features, presents a radar return around 1 square meter. These differences are critical when operating against modern air defenses, capable of tracking conventional bombers from hundreds of kilometers away. The B-2's infrared signature reduction measures further enhance its survivability. In a class of trade-offs, the B-2 stands unrivaled. Early detection during the Yemen strike could have allowed Houthi forces to shelter personnel and relocate assets within their tunnel networks. The political ramifications of a B-2 being tracked or engaged during the mission could have escalated regional tensions. Stealth also enabled the bomber to fly a direct route, avoiding terrain-following maneuvers or reliance on electronic warfare support aircraft that might have revealed the operation. Payload capacity was another decisive factor. The B-2 can carry up to 40,000 pounds of ordnance in its internal bays, including 2 GBU-57s mounted on specialized rotary launchers. While the B-52 has greater overall payload capacity, it cannot carry the GBU-57 internally without major modifications, and external carriage would eliminate any stealth advantage. The B-1B lacks both the necessary bomb bay dimensions and the low observable characteristics required for this mission. The 44-hour round-trip mission from Whiteman AFB to Yemen required multiple aerial refuelings while maintaining strict emissions control. Only the B-2's composite structure and specialized coatings allow continuous operation in diverse environmental conditions without compromising stealth. Its automated mission planning systems calculated optimal flight paths to minimize radar exposure. Other stealth platforms were unsuitable. The F-35 lacks the payload capacity and range for such missions, while the F-22 was never designed for heavy ground attack roles. The B-2's unique combination of stealth, payload, and endurance made it the only viable choice. The mission profile, how it went down. The Yemen strike operation was the culmination of months of meticulous intelligence gathering and mission planning. U.S. Central Command identified 5 critical underground facilities in Houthi-controlled territory, storing advanced ballistic missiles and drone components. Each target demanded precise weapon selection based on depth, construction, and terrain. GBU-57s were assigned to the 3 deepest bunkers, while GBU-31J dams targeted 2 shallower structures. The B-2 Spirit launched from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, carrying 2 GBU-57s internally. The mission required 4 aerial refuelings from KC-135 and KC-10 tankers, each executed with precision to keep the bomber on its carefully planned route. The flight path avoided Syrian and Iraqi radar sites and minimized exposure over Saudi airspace, where Houthi sympathizers might track movements. Flying at optimal altitudes reduced infrared detection risks while conserving fuel. Mission planners meticulously analyzed regional radar coverage using updated electronic warfare databases. The route exploited terrain masking, particularly near monitored areas like the Strait of Hormuz. New Houthi radar installations near Sanaya, identified via satellite imagery, prompted last-minute adjustments to the ingress route. Electronic warfare officers confirmed that Yemen's SA-6 systems lacked the capability to detect the B-2's reduced radar signature. As the B-2 approached its targets, the crew activated the AN/APQ-181 synthetic aperture radar for terminal targeting. This low probability of intercept system provided precise coordinates without emitting detectable signals. Strict emissions control was maintained, with passive terrain mapping used to verify the bomber's position relative to pre-programmed aim points. Weapons officers cross-checked targeting data against real-time intelligence updates received via satellite link. At 50,000 feet, the weapons release sequence began. The GBU-57s separated cleanly, their GPS-aided inertial navigation systems making minor course corrections during descent. The crew held their breath, watching as the bombs followed their calculated ballistic trajectories. The mountainous terrain posed challenges, but the GBU-57's inertial measurement units compensated for elevation changes. Infrared cameras on reconnaissance drones captured the moment of impact, each bomb striking within 3 meters of its target. Secondary explosions lit up the night, confirming the destruction of underground storage chambers filled with rocket propellant and warheads. The stakes had been immense. A failed strike risked exposing B-2 capabilities and leaving critical Houthi assets intact. Senior policymakers debated delaying the mission after reports of Russian advisors near one target site. Ultimately, the White House authorized the operation, reassured by Pentagon planners' confidence in minimal collateral damage. Post-strike assessments confirmed success. Satellite imagery revealed collapsed entrances and craters at all 5 sites. Signals intelligence intercepted Houthi communications reporting catastrophic damage. Weeks later, ground sources confirmed the destruction of a ballistic missile assembly facility near Al-Dailami Air Base. The operation dealt a decisive blow to Houthi capabilities, crippling their ability to launch complex regional attacks. Stealth technology, How the B2 evades detection. The B2 Spirit's stealth capabilities are the result of decades of innovation in radar evasion. While conventional aircraft like the B-52 can be detected from over 200 miles away, the B-2 slips through defenses with a radar cross-section comparable to a large bird. Its sleek, flying wing design and advanced materials make it nearly invisible to modern radar systems. The aircraft's unique shape eliminates vertical tails and protrusions that would normally reflect radar waves. Instead, its smooth, continuous surfaces deflect radar signals away from their source, like skipping stones off water. Engineers used advanced algorithms to fine-tune every angle of the airframe, ensuring it remains elusive across a wide range of radar frequencies. By removing traditional fuselage-to-wing junctions, the flying wing design avoids the radar hotspots that betray other aircraft. Radar-absorbent materials are another key to the B-2's stealth. Its skin is coated with specialized layers that transform radar energy into heat, effectively swallowing the signals. These coatings, made from carbon fiber and ferrite particles, are so sensitive that even minor damage can compromise their effectiveness. Maintenance crews meticulously inspect and repair the aircraft after every mission to preserve its ghost-like profile. The B-2 doesn't just hide from radar, it also minimizes its infrared signature. Engine exhaust is routed through long, cooled ducts, dispersing heat before it escapes. Chevron-shaped nozzles further scatter thermal emissions, making it harder for infrared sensors to lock on. In high-risk situations, the aircraft even uses fuel as a heat sink to cool critical surfaces, reducing its heat signature to a fraction of that of conventional bombers. Acoustic stealth is another layer of its invisibility. The B-2's engines are buried deep within the airframe, muffling noise and reducing its audible footprint. Air intakes are designed to minimize turbulence, ensuring the bomber remains quieter than smaller tactical aircraft at operational altitudes. This makes it nearly impossible for ground-based acoustic sensors to detect. Despite claims from Russian and Chinese radar manufacturers about systems capable of detecting stealth aircraft, real-world evidence suggests otherwise. Advanced radars like the NEBO-M and JY-27A may identify faint traces of stealth aircraft, but they lack the precision needed to guide weapons. Emerging technologies like quantum radar and hyperspectral imaging remain theoretical and unproven against the B-2. To counter evolving threats, the B-2 is equipped with electronic warfare systems that monitor for detection attempts. These systems can adjust flight paths or deploy jamming measures to stay hidden. Recent missions, such as a strike in Yemen, demonstrated the bomber's ability to evade detection, even against modern radar networks. Constant upgrades ensure the B-2 remains a phantom in the skies, adapting to new challenges while maintaining its legendary stealth. The $2 billion question: cost versus capability. The B-2 Spirit bomber program stands as one of the most expensive weapon system investments in U.S. military history, with each aircraft costing approximately $2.1 billion when accounting for research, development, and production. To put this into perspective, that's more than the entire annual defense budgets of nations like Norway or Portugal. Critics often point to these extreme costs, noting that the original plan for 132 aircraft was slashed to just 20 operational bombers due to post-Cold War budget constraints. A significant portion of the B-2's expense lies in its maintenance. Each flight hour demands an average of 124 maintenance hours, nearly double that of conventional bombers. The aircraft's radar-absorbent materials require specialized climate-controlled hangars, and after every mission, technicians meticulously inspect and repair its stealth coatings, which cover roughly 5,000 square feet per aircraft. Even minor damage, such as bird strikes or weather erosion, can take days to restore, underscoring the delicate nature of this million-dollar masterpiece. These maintenance demands directly impact the B-2's operational tempo. Unlike the B-52 Stratofortress, which can fly multiple sorties per day during surge operations, the B-2 fleet operates at a much lower sortie rate. For example, during the 2011 Libya campaign, B-2s accounted for just 2% of bomber sorties. Extensive post-flight checks, including recalibration of sensitive avionics and verification of stealth surfaces, limit rapid turnaround times. The costs of operating the B-2 are staggering. A single sortie costs approximately $130,000 per flight hour, compared to $72,000 for the B-1B and $35,000 for the B-52. The Yemen strike mission, for instance, exceeded $10 million when factoring in aerial refueling, munitions, and extended crew operations. Yet, the operational impact of these missions often justifies the expense. In Yemen, a single B-2 destroyed 5 underground facilities in one mission, targets that would have required multiple sorties and support aircraft from conventional bombers. This capability to strike hardened, high-value targets in contested airspace demonstrates the aircraft's unique strategic value. The shrinking B-2 fleet faces mounting challenges. Originally designed for nuclear deterrence, the aircraft now undertakes global conventional strike missions, increasing wear on the small fleet. During a 2021 grounding for structural inspections, only 6 mission-ready aircraft were available worldwide. Modernization efforts, including new cockpit displays and enhanced radar-absorbent materials, aim to sustain the fleet, but costs per flight hour have risen by 42% since 2010, raising questions about long-term sustainability. Despite these challenges, the B-2's ability to penetrate advanced air defenses remains unmatched. Its success in missions like Yemen underscores its strategic importance, providing national leaders with options no other platform can deliver. This capability, coupled with its deterrent value, ensures the B-2 remains a cornerstone of U.S. military power. The message to Iran: strategic signaling. The Yemen strike carried a strategic message far beyond its immediate tactical objectives. While targeting Houthi weapons depots served operational purposes, it also demonstrated a capability aimed squarely at Iranian leadership in Tehran. Iran's underground nuclear facilities, such as the Fordo enrichment plant near Guam, are designed to withstand conventional airstrikes, with over 80 meters of rock shielding its critical chambers. However, the Yemen operation showcased a weapon capable of overcoming such defenses. Previous U.S. strikes against Iranian-backed forces in Syria lacked this specific demonstration of underground targeting capability. For example, operations in 2020 used standard JDAMs against above-ground structures. In contrast, the Yemen strike marked the first combat deployment of the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, proving its effectiveness against deeply buried targets. This was a clear signal to Tehran that even their most fortified sites were not beyond reach. Fordo's design, with its multiple levels and reinforced blast doors, is formidable but not impervious. Engineering analysis indicates the GBU-57 could penetrate all protective layers to reach the underground centrifuges. Its delayed fuse ensures detonation at maximum depth, creating catastrophic overpressure within sealed chambers. Satellite imagery of Yemen's destroyed bunkers revealed structural collapse patterns similar to what could occur at Fordo, underscoring the weapon's potential. The timing of the strike was no coincidence. It occurred as Iran accelerated uranium enrichment activities at underground sites during a sensitive phase of nuclear negotiations. By demonstrating the GBU-57's operational capability, the U.S. sent a calculated message: even Iran's most secure facilities were vulnerable. This directly countered Tehran's narrative that its underground sites were invulnerable to Western attacks. Iranian state media initially downplayed the Yemen strikes, but subsequent actions revealed their concern. The Revolutionary Guard conducted drills simulating attacks on nuclear sites, focusing on rapid tunnel sealing procedures. Construction of new underground workshops near Natanz also appeared to accelerate. These responses suggested Tehran understood the strategic implications of the strike. Military analysts noted shifts in Iranian force posture following the operation. Air defense patrols increased around critical nuclear sites, and underground facility commanders reportedly revised security protocols. Iranian officials emphasized new protective measures in public statements, though specifics were withheld. These adjustments reflected a recalibration of their defensive strategies. The Yemen strike's geopolitical timing added layers to its strategic messaging. It served as a reminder of U.S. military options beyond diplomacy, while avoiding direct provocation by targeting Iranian proxies rather than Iranian soil. Regional allies were briefed on the operation's technical aspects, likely to reinforce confidence in U.S. security guarantees. Ultimately, the operation forced Iranian strategists to reconsider assumptions about their facility protection. The GBU-57's demonstrated capabilities reshaped the risk calculus for critical infrastructure, leaving Tehran to grapple with new uncertainties in its strategic planning. Bigger picture, the Indo-Pacific Pivot. The Yemen operation represents a pivotal moment in the U.S. military's shift toward great power competition in the Indo-Pacific. This strategic realignment prioritizes capabilities against near-peer adversaries like China over counterterrorism operations. Assets like the B2 Spirit, capable of penetrating heavily defended areas, are central to this shift. The Yemen strike's demonstration of underground strike capability has direct implications for regions like the Pacific, where adversaries have invested heavily in buried facilities. China's artificial island bases in the South China Sea, for example, feature extensive underground networks. Satellite imagery reveals tunnels connecting missile launch sites, ammunition depots, and command centers on Fiery Cross, Subi, and Mischief Reefs. These facilities, though more advanced and deeply reinforced than those in Yemen, represent similar strategic challenges. The People's Liberation Army has also constructed underground hangars to shield combat aircraft from precision strikes, underscoring the importance of penetrating capabilities. Guam, often described as the unsinkable aircraft carrier of the Pacific, serves as the central hub for B2 operations in the region. Andersen Air Force Base houses specialized hangars and maintenance facilities for stealth bombers, ensuring their readiness. Strategically located, Guam places key Chinese targets within operational range while remaining outside the effective radius of most intermediate-range ballistic missiles. Its defenses, including THAAD batteries and continuous air patrols, protect critical assets. B-2 rotations to Guam have increased significantly, reflecting its growing importance in U.S. Pacific strategy. China's underground missile silos are particularly critical targets for the GBU-57. Satellite imagery shows at least 300 new silos under construction in western China, housing DF-41 and DF-31AG intercontinental ballistic missiles. These hardened facilities, buried hundreds of feet underground, are designed to withstand conventional strikes. However, simulations suggest the GBU-57 could penetrate these silos, potentially forcing China to rethink its dispersal and protection strategies. Recent B-2 training missions have focused on Pacific scenarios, including simulated strikes against targets modeled after Chinese underground facilities. Crews practice navigating complex ingress routes to avoid advanced air defense systems like the HQ-9 and S-400. These exercises also incorporate electronic warfare and alternative weapon selections, reflecting the Air Force's emphasis on preparing for high-stakes Pacific conflicts. The Yemen strike provided valuable data for planning against similar but more advanced targets in the Pacific. Engineers can extrapolate weapon performance against the reinforced concrete used in Chinese facilities. The operation also demonstrated the B-2's ability to operate effectively in contested environments, a capability critical for deterring China's military modernization efforts. This strategic pivot represents a tide turning in the vast Pacific theater, where the B-2's role extends beyond nuclear deterrence. Precision strikes against underground command centers or missile sites offer flexible options to degrade Chinese capabilities without escalating to nuclear conflict. The Yemen operation underscored the feasibility of such missions, signaling a new era in U.S. military strategy. Maintenance. The B-2's Achilles heel. The B-2 Spirit's revolutionary stealth capabilities come with extraordinary maintenance demands that constrain operational flexibility. Each aircraft requires climate-controlled hangars to preserve sensitive radar-absorbent materials, with facilities at Whiteman Air Force Base and forward operating locations maintaining precise temperature and humidity levels. These conditions prevent degradation of the aircraft's low observable coatings during ground operations. Maintenance for the B-2 far exceeds that of conventional bombers, averaging 124 hours per flight hour compared to 53 for the B-1B and 35 for the B-52. Crews meticulously inspect 5,000 square feet of radar-absorbent material after each mission, repairing even minor imperfections to maintain stealth. The reapplication process involves specialized infrared cameras to identify damage, precise grinding to remove compromised material, and controlled curing of new coatings. Repairing a single square foot can take up to 40 hours, underscoring the labor-intensive nature of upkeep. In 2021, a fleet-wide grounding revealed stress fractures in composite structures, particularly around weapons bay doors and wing joints. Engineers developed repair procedures over 3 months, but the incident highlighted long-term challenges in sustaining the aging fleet. At one point, only 6 aircraft were mission-ready, underscoring the strain on operational availability. The small fleet size and intensive maintenance create bottlenecks. With only 20 aircraft, the Air Force typically maintains no more than 12 mission-ready bombers. Depot maintenance lasting 12 to 18 months per aircraft further reduces availability. During a 2018 mission against ISIS in Libya, planners could allocate just 2 B-2s despite multiple high-value targets. Wartime surge operations would face similar constraints, as the B-2 fleet struggles to sustain more than one sortie every 3 days during extended campaigns. Anecdotes from maintenance crews reveal the human toll of these challenges. One technician described working 16-hour shifts for weeks during the 2021 grounding, balancing structural repairs with routine inspections. The specialized skills required for B-2 maintenance mean only 120 certified technicians are available worldwide, with training for new personnel taking nearly 2 years. This limited workforce compounds delays during high-demand periods. Combat damage to stealth coatings presents another vulnerability. Each aircraft requires 800 man-hours to fully recoat, a process accelerated by operational use. Forward operating bases lack the environmental controls needed for proper repairs, forcing damaged aircraft to return to U.S. facilities, further straining availability. These maintenance realities directly influence the design of the B-21 Raider. Engineers prioritized maintainability, developing radar-absorbent materials that require less frequent reapplication and can be repaired in the field. Simplified structural components and open architecture systems reduce inspection demands and streamline upgrades. The B-21 represents a critical evolution, addressing the B-2's limitations while preserving its groundbreaking capabilities. The future. B-21. Raider and beyond. The B-21 Raider represents a significant evolution in American strategic bombing, building on lessons from the B-2 program while introducing advanced technologies. Northrop Grumman's design addresses key limitations of the B-2, particularly in maintainability and operational flexibility. Radar-absorbent materials are now easier to repair in the field and less sensitive to environmental conditions, directly tackling the maintenance challenges that limited B-2 availability. Stealth capabilities have been refined to enhance survivability against modern air defenses. The Raider's flying wing design further reduces radar cross-section through advanced modeling, while new composite materials absorb a broader range of radar frequencies, including those used by counter-stealth systems. Enhanced engine exhaust cooling and noise suppression improve upon the B-2's already impressive stealth profile. The debate over manned versus unmanned bombers continues, but the B-21 bridges this divide with its optional unmanned operation. Initially fielded as a manned platform, it can transition to autonomous missions as artificial intelligence and communication technologies advance. This flexibility ensures the Raider remains relevant in an era of rapid technological change. A key innovation is the B-21's open architecture, which allows for modular upgrades to avionics and mission systems. Unlike the B-2, which required extensive overhauls for new capabilities, the Raider can integrate updates more efficiently. This design ensures the aircraft can adapt to evolving threats over its projected 50-year service life. However, the Raider's smaller weapons bay reflects a trade-off favoring stealth and range over payload capacity. While the B-2 can carry 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, the B-21 accommodates only one. This limitation may drive the development of smaller, more effective weapons tailored to its design, ensuring it remains capable of addressing hardened targets. Autonomous operations could redefine the Raider's role. Its systems are designed to support future AI integration, enabling coordinated, independent missions. This capability would be invaluable for time-sensitive strikes in contested environments, where communication with command centers might be compromised. For now, human oversight remains essential for weapons release, but this policy may evolve as technology matures. The Air Force plans to acquire at least 100 Raiders, a significant increase over the B-2 fleet. This larger inventory will support sustained operations and training while addressing maintenance demands. Cost efficiency is another advantage, with each B-21 projected to cost $750 million, far less than the B-2's inflation-adjusted $2.1 billion price tag. The B-21's dual conventional and nuclear roles further enhance its strategic value. Its adaptable systems simplify integration of future nuclear weapons, ensuring it remains a cornerstone of U.S. deterrence. By addressing the B-2's limitations and incorporating cutting-edge advancements, the Raider isn't just a replacement, it's the next leap in strategic air power. The Yemen strike showcased a stark truth in underground warfare. No facility is beyond the reach of U.S. precision strikes. The B-2 Spirit, with its stealth, range, and payload, remains a cornerstone of strategic bombing, delivering 13.6-ton bunker busters with pinpoint accuracy. As adversaries fortify deeper, from Iran's nuclear tunnels to China's missile silos, the U.S. counters with evolving technology. First the B-2 and GBU-57, soon the B-21 Raider. From doubt to dominance, these strikes redefine modern warfare, where penetrating capabilities shape global power dynamics. This ongoing competition underscores how tactical success fuels long-term strategic deterrence in an ever-shifting geopolitical landscape.